Client celebrate these wins with us and give us pizza parties.
What's the most challenging project you have managed, and what's the challenges you face?
For a construction project manager, maybe the scope is fixed. You cannot build the first floor after the 10th one.
Talking about that, I don't know how that man does this 15 projects.
Yes, we all have our strong sides, and he's just too good.
So again, keeping in the client's perspective, how do you ensure the smooth communication with your clients? Hello and welcome to the next episode of Devomech podcast. Today we have with us one of the first project managers here at Devomech Solutions. He has a very vast experience of project management on field in the defense industry, specifically in Pakistan Air Force. One of the pioneers of project management department here at Devomech Solutions. Today we have with us Ammar Hassan. How are you, Ammar?
I'm doing good. How about you, Bilal? How is everything?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well.
Thank you for bringing me up here for this interview, and it's glad to connect.
Yeah, it's a pleasure hosting you here at Devomech Solutions. So, starting from your early life, so what's your degree, what have you done? And you have served 6 years in Pakistan Air Force, a defense life, and now the shift towards a civil life.
Okay, so basically I have done my mechatronics engineering back in 2017, and after that from 2018 to 2024 I served 6 years in Pakistan Air Force, couple of years as aircraft maintenance engineer, and then maintaining plants and equipment at Kamra aircraft manufacturing factory. So yeah, it's been good so far. And then in 2024 I joined Devomech Solutions as a project manager. Here I am leading the product development of various IoT based mechatronics products, and it's been good so far.
So you were the first project manager here, right?
Yes.
So how was that, being the pioneer of a department in the company, and how has the experience been? What the methods you've established, the procedures?
Yes, I had the project management experience from there as well. So I had the idea, and we had to initiate a lot of things which were not normalized here. So that took a little time, but then it was really helpful for us, because we had already planned these things. So it's better to execute the projects when they're already planned.
So yeah, that's really a help. So that's what project managers basically do.
Yes.
So how's your experience been so far here at Devomech? So how's the team like? How's the management like? So what's your take on this?
It's been good so far. The teams are really collaborative, and we initiate the projects, make a plan, and discuss the queries of clients, and then look for a way forward. The environment is really good. We have a really starting our days are really productive, discussing all the requirements of the projects, and then doing stand-ups in between the days. Yeah, so the environment is really good, and it's quite learning for me and the whole team as well.
Okay, so I have prepared a bunch of questions for you here with me.
Yes, sure.
So
go ahead.
Some questions, can be analytical, some can be, descriptive. So hopefully having a good session with you. So coming to my first question is, like, here at the Devomech Solutions, what methodology of project management do you basically follow, or what do you think is best, like, for your experience?
I think it depends on the project. Usually for a simple project of hardware development where everything is fixed, the scope of work, we follow the waterfall methodology. But some projects require a lot of iterations in like firmware, so we follow the agile method. So but mostly the projects we're following hybrid methodology.
Yeah, just for the viewers here, so basically Devomech is a service-based company offering his services in app, embedded, electronics and mechanical in every product development department. So
basically it's a combined product of whole of these trades. So it's a hybrid methodology product.
So yeah, you and me both know these terminologies, Agile, Waterfall. So for the viewers, what do you exactly mean by Agile methodology?
Like for starter, for Waterfall, it's scope is defined, and you just follow the process and get to the end result. But for Agile, you don't know what you want from and it keeps on maturing, and after a few development time, you have to iterate a lot of things and then get to the result. So this continuous improvement, that's agile. And mostly the thing is, maybe the mechanical part it's fixed, but the software part it keeps on developing. So that's where it's combined, the hybrid
That's where
methodology.
the product manager comes in. Every team has its concerns, but that's the main person who's addressing this concern is you being the project manager.
Yes, for a construction project manager, maybe the scope is fixed. You cannot build the first floor after the 10th one. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, so main project management here is, as you've mentioned, we are following Agile and mostly Agile and sometimes Waterfall methodology here. So, in Agile, the clients are the main focus there. So the deadlines for the clients are sometimes different, and what time teams give, they are very different. There's a difference of around a month as well, in some cases. So how do you manage these, and how do you prioritize tasks and inform the client that, this task is of 1 week and cannot be done in 1 hour? Your deadline is not realistic.
Well, obviously the client wants it to be done ASAP. So basically, in terms of timeline as well as budget, the effort hours, so they want it to be done as soon as we can. But obviously, depending on the scope, we have to take a look and figure out how it's possible. So we have to convey them that this can be done in minimum of this many weeks. Communication, and basically with our experience checking that if it's feasible, we communicate to the client.
So what if you think that a team is giving non unrealistic deadline and very exaggerated deadline? So what did you do in that case?
Well, obviously that experience help in that terms, because when you know how much a thing would take, you could cross check and ask them why this is requiring more time while it's not that big of a task.
Basically, Ammar as engineer comes in here.
Yes, because at Devomech, we are mostly, all of us are engineers, mechatronics, mechanical and electronics, even the project managers. So it's easier when you're also an engineer to get understand the tasks and the requirements. You can easily communicate to the team. And obviously, like you asked about the effort hours, there's obviously AI and automation that can assist you, but your experience helps as well.
So AI makes it easy, but you have to be vigilant and have your engineering mind there in the team, with the team and in the project. Yes. So you mentioned about the project managers. How many project managers does Devomech have right now?
We have 4 project managers, 2 including us, and there are 2 other project managers.
So how's your relation? How do you find our relation with them?
We are managing different projects, but we're sitting together and have a good understanding and knowledge, and each of us have different weaknesses and strong sides. And for example, I might have 6-7 years of experience, but on other side you have good hands-on experience with tools, and so we assist each other. For example, one of us, Uzair, he has 15 projects. So it's like he's really good with handling them. He's multitasking all the time. He's sitting with us right beside. So we all have different areas of expertise, and we try to share our experiences and get better for Devomech.
Yeah, talking about that, I don't know how that man does this 15 projects.
Yes, 15 projects is a lot, but we all have our strong sides, and he's just too good.
So basically, we have a helping relation with each other. So a good environment in our room, basically. Very good environment in our room.
Yes.
Okay. So coming towards my next question. So as you mentioned, me being good with tools, I'm very good with tools. So what tools do you use, or in that scenario, you can explain us, the viewers here, about the problems you faced learning new tools, or what any suggestion you have for new project managers there?
In my experience of operations, maintenance, and the managerial role, I used to do on-site work and never used these tools. So for me, this was a starter, and it took a couple of weeks. You graduated a little late, and during COVID times you had a lot of lectures on video call. I never had those, so for me, even sharing the screen on Google Meet was the first.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that day.
Yeah, so yeah, but coming back to the main topic of tools, we usually use we use tools for communication, project management, and documentation. For project management, we use ClickUp and FeedCamp. For communication, we use Slack, Google Workspace, and sometimes even WhatsApp, depending on client's requirement. And documentation, we use Office and Notion.
So coming towards the tools, other part of the question was like what the suggestion you give to the new project managers. So how do they learn the tools, or you have as you said that in your experience you were not very familiar with the tools. So should they be engaged with the tools? So what do you say about that?
Yes, these tools are really handy for managing the projects, and obviously you know how to start learning them. Whenever new employees come, we teach them, like guide them on how to use these tools and Google things, so they get more comfortable with these tools.
Just a story I remembered with this, like when I started university, as he mentioned many times that I am from COVID batch. I did 1 year remote, so I didn't know how to use. Our classes were on Microsoft Teams, and I really didn't have an idea about that. And now that's the one thing I miss the most. That classes on MS Teams. So that was also time. So learning new tools is important. Like you should be familiar. All the new project managers or the viewers, like you should learn new tools, even if you think that tool is not necessary, but it will teach you something that will definitely help you in project management, or even if you are from electronics or hardware side, it will definitely help you. Softwares are very important. So yeah, Ammar, taking advantage from your experience, you have served in different areas and different plants, and as you mentioned, with different planes as well. So what type of plane have you worked with, like fighter jets?
Yes, F-7PGs. I have done aircraft maintenance and operations. I've managed that on flight lines, and then
Not F-16s?
no.
Okay. Anyway, so taking advantage from your experience, so you have worked in different areas and different plants, and here in Devomech as well. So what's the comparison you draw between that project and this project, and like how was your experience doing that?
Well, yes, you can't really compare them. I have done manufacturing projects of Mashak, and you can't really compare them because there the process is streamlined and the scope is defined. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. While here, you don't know what's the next product is going to be, what's clients going to ask, the requirements, and then when the scope is defined, it keeps on iterating. So here, there's are different kind of challenges. There, you can say there's waterfall methodology for the projects.
So just here again for the viewers, Ammar mentioned Mashak. So Mashak are the training aircrafts in Pakistan Air Force. Ammar has worked on them.
So yes, managing the manufacturing projects of Mashak, but not working on its assembly or operations. But
have you flied one?
No, of course not. I was in the engineering branch, and there's another branch for that.
My next question for you is like, how do you handle scope creep in client-driven projects? Just for the information, scope creep here is like being Devomech, being a service-based company, those clients can be, very much, you can say demandative or demands more and more. And when we start a project, the demands are less, but when the project is in process, so the scope and the demand increase, so we have to adjust to that. So how do you handle that?
Well, basically, whether in Devomech or in any other organization, documentation and communication is the key. So if everything is well documented, once you know the project's basic scope, you have to document everything. You have to communicate it to the team as well as client. Once you go through the starting initiating phase very well, then you won't have the scope creep problems.
Right. So for documentation, like where do you store your document? How do you keep track of all those documents? For me, that's very difficult thing. So to find a document when required.
Well, we use the tools that we were earlier mentioned. We have to make Word files or PDF and upload there the initiating contracts, the project requirements, specifications, the bunch of questions we send to clients to clarify, and we just keep them there as well and send to the clients for proof as well and for there is no ambiguity later on.
So yeah, about the clients, coming towards that. So what type of clients, you usually have interaction with, and are they rude? Are they good? Are they communicative? Are they rude? Or how to define your interaction with the clients?
I have different clients from all over the world, like different continent, and obviously every client is unique and they have their own personality. And yes, some are really easy to handle, and some micromanage the project or ask too many questions. So yes, it's just part of the job. You have not every person is the same, so you have to deal with it, and the key is to be patient and mediate between the clients and the team.
So when you're talking, I just remembered a saying from a cartoon that we serve the client even the most ridiculous requests. So that's what is important. Client is always right. We have to satisfy the client.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the client is asking for something that's not logical, not defined in the scope, and it's hard for the team. So you have to mediate and convey them politely that what was not mentioned in the contract, or how to, get through it. So, but yeah, you're right most of the time.
We have to do what client says, and eventually when at the end of project he realizes that what we were saying was right, and the whole project goes back to that step. So we have, that's the important part in project management, to convince client that we are right.
Yes, I guess.
I mean, we know technical side more, so this is our suggestion.
Yes, obviously.
So again, keeping in the client's perspective, how do you ensure the smooth communication with your clients?
Yes, for effective communication with the client, we use different tools, as I mentioned earlier. And yes, we have a lot of meetings with them as well, where projects are going at a very good pace. We do weekly meetings, we have scheduled for each and every client. So that keeps everything in place.
As they say, communication is the key. So that's the most important thing to do.
Yes, communication and documentation is the key. For project managers,
coming from a cost, right?
Even for a small task, if you document it or communicate it, so it stays on the record, it's really good for project managers.
Yeah, so we Devomech, being a flexible company, giving employees the opportunity to work from home in their convenience. So we have some hybrid teams or even remote teams working. So how do you manage on-site and remote teams effectively, and so that nothing is compromised on the project?
Well, we have communication throughout the day. We have on different tools as well, and we have threads for every task and every type of projects. So we have channels. So everything is pretty much assigned to the people, and we can easily follow up and give him a quick call to follow up.
Yeah, so we also have informal gatherings with the team all the time. So
for people on site, we do have like really quick stand-ups, but even for the remote ones, we schedule meetings just to keep everything in order.
It's when we are working with team, and the client is basically saying that what I demanded is not delivered, and when we convey this to the team, so their reactions are not always positive, or it is natural to not be positive at that time. So how do you keep them motivated, and what's your take on that? So how the motivation works, and how do you keep your team motivated?
Yes, there are two things to keep the team motivated. Celebrate small wins, mango parties, and other than that, communications. No, I'm really serious.
We have a mango party. You coming on that?
Yes, of course. But the thing is, you have to celebrate the small wins on every completion of the project milestone, so the team is well motivated, and it's good to keep everyone on the same pace.
Yeah, so having small treats helps a lot.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I have seen the teams when they come from a treat of a project, and they are so happy, and they get to work immediately after that.
Yes.
So that little pizza helps a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, even client does that.
Yes, of course. Even client celebrate these wins with us, and give us
Yeah.
pizza parties.
So, coming towards my favorite question of all that I have, written here. So, what's the most challenging project you have managed, and what's the challenges you faced, and what was the difficulty, and why you consider that the project the most challenging one?
I've managed a lot of projects, and one of the most challenging, you can say, is where I had to deliver the thing at the end of the month, and we didn't have the components to test and develop the whole product. So basically we procured few local components and did it on Raspberry Pi. How it was meant to be done on its original board, but it was coming from China, so it took a couple of weeks. So to use that time, we first developed the thing on Raspberry Pi and later changed it to that board once it arrived. And it was really challenging because we had to switch from the language to Yocto then. So but yeah, we made that decision. Sometimes things like spare can be a bottleneck and give you a lead time, but you have to manage that.
So, Ammar, after a very long discussion and very insightful in project management department at Devomech, where do you see the future of project management? What's the new innovation coming in?
I think AI will play a role. It's actually playing the role because for every plan that we're making, and AI is assisting us a lot. So yes, for project management, AI based automation is the key.
Right, yeah, AI helps us a lot, and even future generations are all AI. So, my last question for you is like, what's one productivity hack, or even more than one productivity hack you will give to future PMs, or even your peers? For me as well, I'm like very much junior from you. So, what's one productivity hack you?
For me, personally, time blocking is the key. Once you assign yourself the task, for example, start your day with mailing all the clients, the team leads, assigning the tasks, and then moving towards daily stand-up meetings. So once you go through that, then couple of hours for yourself for strong focus work on the projects to take out the best out of it. So yes, once you time block and figure out your own time management, then you can do the same for the projects as well. Yes, that's for me.
Basically, list down the projects and manage time for them.
Yeah, for them as well, and not just list down the projects for different type of tasks. Some require a lot of focus, so you take out a couple of hours for them. Some require a lot of communication, so you start your day with communication and meetings, and so everyone's know what today we're doing, and then do the rest of the work. At the end of the day, you can do the finalizing this task and prep up maybe for the next day. So yeah, that would be like a hack I would suggest every project manager.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Thank you very much, Ammar, for your time, for your so much enlightening incitement in the project
Likewise,
management. Yeah.
it was really nice to be here and share my thoughts.
So this was Ammar Hassan enlightening us with his knowledge and experience about project management at Devomech Solutions. So that's all from our side. See you in the next episode of Devomech Podcast.
Thank you.